So viewers, let me introduce my guest for today. Soumya is an aspiring scientist, entrepreneur, academician. Sharma is a motivated third-year undergraduate pursuing biomedical sciences. His passion for career in biomedical science, research, academia, and entrepreneurship is evident through his resilient approach towards zealot pursuit of these attributes from high school to now university. And by the way, he is pursuing his course in Imperial College London. Soumya currently works in the capacity of undergraduate researcher in advanced drug delivery at AstraZeneca, Cambridge, United Kingdom, where he is involved in the development of nanoparticle functionalized drug delivery system. Big things, right? I'll not go much into detail of this. He will speak for himself. So without much ado, let me bring him on frame and go ahead with our discussion. So viewers, let me first introduce to you about where and how we met, our common connection. Both of us, we have something in common. You can see the gate. Feel closeness to an open world called SBA. Now, this SBA is the organization we are associated with. I am saying, in the sense, Soumya is still connected because this is our working philosophy. Once a member of the family, one is a member for lifetime. So Soumya joined the academy in when he was in grade 9. Correct me if I go wrong anywhere you feel. Usually my memory doesn't fail. You know that. SBA stands for Sarla Birla Academy. It's an international school in southern part of Bangalore. I'll not go much in detail about this. So he happened to enter through this gate. The year was?
I think it was 2014.
Yeah, 2014. Yes. 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah. So he was with us physically with us for 4 years. He did his grade 9 to grade 12 in Sarla Birla Academy. And now he is where he is. I have already spoken about that in the introduction. And where he will be. Yeah, one thing is he will always be in our heart. That is fine. But otherwise he will be in a big place. He will make a big name for himself, for his country, his family, his country. And a true world citizen and a true leader. Because here at Sarla Birla Academy, we boast of making leaders, making a man out of a boy. So these are some of the faces looking at which we can proudly say that, yes, we are successful to some extent in making men out of boy or boys. So here is Soumya. So we are connected here with Sarla Birla Academy. Now, Soumya, I'll take you back to some of your old memories. Anything is clicking?
Wow,
can you see?
My pictures.
Can you see? Yeah. And that was when you were in grade 10, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you can see some faces. Can you? Is it visible properly?
Yes. Sir, if you could just lower your screen a bit so that I can see you properly. The computer screen, just lower it. Yeah.
That's fine?
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So, can you see some known faces?
Yes, the seminar and me presenting a particular project.
I'm talking of human beings. Known faces.
Sorry?
Known faces, can you see there? Though the pictures are not so clear.
Yes, I think that's Babu sir towards the most right.
Yeah.
There's Felix sir, there's Sasi sir.
Yeah. You can't see me, right?
I can't.
Why? Why is that?
I don't think so. I don't think you were there in the presentation. Not sure.
Why do you think you can't see me? Come on. It's a quiz for you.
Because you weren't in the presentation. You didn't attend my presentation.
I was clicking the picture, yeah. So how can you see me? I was on the other side of the camera, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that was a simple question. Yeah, we like to trick each other. Yeah. So this was a seminar presentation. And would you like to take some names of the boys? I mean, it was a small group, right?
Yes, it was a very small group.
Yeah. Take the name. I can also take the name, but it would be nice if you can recognize. Rohan Prabhakar.
Is that Rohan Prabhakaran?
Yes, Rohan Prabhakar.
Wow.
Who was senior to you, and
yes,
your
yes.
grade mate is also there. Your best buddy.
Sorry?
Your best buddy is also there. Lunagaria.
Oh yeah, just on the computer at the back.
So when Soumya was in grade 12, he was the house captain here, and Yash Lunagaria was house vice captain. Now Yash is in US, right?
Yes, he studies in Georgia Tech University.
Yeah,
yes.
Georgia Tech University. That day he happened to come to school a few months back, I think.
Wow.
3 months
That's
back.
right.
So I'll connect to him also. I said something nice to him. Like he was surprised and he showed tremendous interest to know about this. Can you see a change in me? Do you see a change in me?
Change in you since I was in 12th grade.
Yes.
I found
Something is missing. Specs.
Okay, right.
I used to use that.
But I also saw you without specs. Did you ever wear specs?
Yeah,
Sure.
I've been using for last 30 years, but from 2018 to be precise. I remember the date also, 12th of February 2018. I stopped it. I took it up as a challenge, and I stopped it. And people who look at me now, they come up with their obvious interpretation or guesses that have you gone for laser surgery or that or anything like that. I said no. I have gone for some internal surgery on my own. So I try to. I like to keep things in the form of riddles. You know that, right? So I want people to come back to me for unraveling the mysteries. So
a non-invasive psychosomatic surgery.
Yeah, exactly. And viewers, you are getting a picture of this big mind when he is opening his mouth. So this makes me, this fills me with immense pride that whatever the way I have presented him before you, I am not being proved wrong in any way. And every time he will be opening his mouth, he will open in his style. So he not only has big mind, he has a meaningful mouth also. I won't say big mouth because big mouth means something else altogether. Yeah, and this is a seminar we went for ISA project in 2014. He was only in grade 10 at that time doing his IGCSE course. And we did a project with this name, Artomatics, where art meets mathematics, right? So you still remember those days? We used autograph and we made some beautiful designs using mathematical functions and all, right? So
absolutely, yeah. Basically, do you mind if I describe?
Yes.
What we?
Yeah.
So basically, as we can see here, so on the picture towards the top, on the left side on the right side of the screen, there's that sort of a stage with very fancy curtains on it. So we said that, okay, that's a good example of art. That's a good sort of artistic manifestation on screen and on a picture. So why not let's apply mathematics and basically mathematical functions to model that structure. And I suppose given the constraints of time and even our mathematical capacity until 10th grade, and with the help of Subhajit sir, we created this structure. So as we can see, we had that sort of I haven't studied math since 12th now, but I can remember it's a sinusoidal function, like a sine function.
Yeah, with a modulus. Yeah, with a modulus.
That's right, modulus, which makes it a positive function. Absolutely. So we used trigonometry. We used the fact that asymptotes can just reach up to infinity and never stop. So basically, I think those two lines which are sort of bordering the curtains are asymptotic functions. And that the line that itself is like x equals -2, I think, just the horizontal line. And on the picture just below it, that is actually a sort of a structure we captured from our SBA halls of residence. So basically in our houses, we have this balcony where we dry our clothes or keep our shoe rack. So basically the sort of balcony window, if you want to call it, the border sort of is displayed in that structure. And obviously it was a much more complicated structure to model because, as you can see, it's much more complex than the outline of the curtains. So basically what we did was we broke down the structure into simple parts, because you can't just directly look at something complex and be like, okay, let's model this. We broke it down. So as we can see, we broke it down into, okay, let's first take the part on the top. So okay, there are like many lines there. So we saw, okay, simple line function, and then there are some circles as well. So okay, just draw a function of a circle, and then below there are again these lines and basically squares or rectangles, if I'm not wrong, and we put them all together, and we got that. So although that could have been better had we been able to sort of constrain the functions themselves, because the line just extends to infinity. But I think we did a good job given our mathematical capacity in 10th grade. That was good. Yeah. I enjoyed it really. I mean, I got different perspective of what mathematics can do and what functions can do, and hopefully I'm going to apply that in my future studies, because as Subhajit sir has referred to it. So,
yeah, actually all of us, we enjoyed, and that's why perhaps we named it as Artomatics, where mathematics meets art. And
sorry sir, could you be louder please?
Yeah, that's why perhaps we named it as Artomatics, where mathematics meets art, right?
Absolutely.
And mathematics is the art of life, right? And mathematical thinking makes us much smarter, and not smarter, we can reach the peak of intelligence if we study mathematics properly. What is your take on that? Hello? What I said just now is we can touch the peak of intelligence if we study mathematics properly.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. I mean, basically for example, even in this, I think mathematics is so we in biology we talk about, so for example, imaging. We talk about the resolution of a particular image in microscopy, for example. So the higher the resolution, the better, and sort of becoming cross interdisciplinary here. So what maths is, I think you can't get more high resolution than maths. You just can't. Maths is the highest of resolution that life and the subject itself offers the highest of resolutions. So do you think that interpretation, what do you think about that interpretation?
Yeah,
mathematics.
Exactly. Whatever you are saying, whatever you are saying just now, you are saying out of your own experience, right? The way you have seen. And viewers, when he came to grade 11, he took up mathematics HL, higher level. He went through this IBDP program. I'll give a link in the description for the viewers to know all about IBDP, what it is. Wonderful program. I don't know why I'm showing you this. Let me hide it. I should not reveal. About zones, different zones. Several parts of the country are now divided. I'm talking of this present Corona episode. In India also, regions are divided into red zone, green zone, and yellow zone, right? How is it in London now?
In the UK, I mean, the whole country is just large enough to be divided into zones, but I think it's much better now, since it was
a month ago. We have peaked out in the cases, and they're coming down, and the lockdown is easing as well. So things are getting better. Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to zones, that is something here. WhatsApp, and I think I shared with you.
Oh yes.
Do you remember this?
Absolutely. It's I would call this the enhanced version of probably the IB learning profile, something like that, because I mean learning profiles or
Soumya, that day we were having a session like on the topic of unconditional love. Because love is something which the world is looking for, interpersonal love. So I got a nice question and very powerful, pointed question. One person asked me, you talk of unconditional love, but in our workplace, is it possible to show unconditional love? So I said with a smiling face, yeah, it is possible, provided we do one thing. So we need to do one small thing. What is that? The thing is, at our workplace, we need to shift our mind from competition to cooperation. So let me explain what I meant by that. At workplace, suppose you and me, we are co-workers, right? So my intention always will be, or my striving will be, to get a promotion before you get it. So I am always in a competitive mode. I am in competition with you. So if that be the case, I can never love you. I may utter 100,000 words of love. I may send you greetings, red flower, white flower, roses, whatever. But that is all fake, all fake. So if we just shift from competition to cooperation, then this becomes a reality, unconditional love. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, I agree with your categorization of that kind of a setting and competition as fake love, because it's indeed fake. And I think what competition said, as you said, that everybody is running in the race for promotion. But and there's no problem with it, of course. Why not? People should be visionary, and they should. Everybody should pursue progress and promotions. But actually, what sort of competition does is introduces some sort of loss in that system in a way that. So I'll introduce a physics analogy into this. So let's say that there are two objects which interact in a way that in opposing directions. So that's competition for me, because when you're competing with someone and sort of that nasty sort of competition, you're investing a lot of your cognitive resources into thinking, how do I put that person down? And that much of cognitive resources can be used in thinking about how to put yourself up. And if that person does the same thing, then both of you can sort of work in a collaboration and push each other. So if that becomes a sort of perpetual cycle in which that dynamic in which one person keeps pushing each other, then I think both of them will reach towards a faster promotion. Or if not a promotion, they'll make much more progress, and they'll be much happy or rather satisfied with what they're doing at the workplace, because they are leading to productive interactions. Because when you do that competition, you lose out a lot of, you waste a lot of energy as heat, or when things collide with each other, that's a collision in a way. You lose a lot of unproductive energy there. So that's my view.
So, Soumya, have you stopped talking, or you are still going on? Why I'm saying this here, I say your words are still reverberating here, like so deep, so deep.
Could you put your laptop down, please?
No, your words were so deep. This took me to a different level altogether, and I and viewers, you might be surprised, but I am not. You might be surprised to see. a boy of this age, at this age, is seeing things of such deep level. Okay. So we take pride in preparing our boys like this, and that's why we say that we create world leaders, men out of a boy. Yeah, wonderfully said, Soumya, and this makes me greedy in the sense I would love to have more and more sessions with you. At one go, it may not be possible to continue for a prolonged period because we are in two different countries right now, and this technology is a problem sometimes. Fine, but today it is working fine. I think time is with us. Time is with us.
It's a cooperation and collaboration with us.
Yeah. So three of us are together. You, Soumya, me, and time. So it's a holy trinity, right? Yeah. Soumya, about this chart, would you like to give your insight about the different regions?
Sure. So I think what this chart represents is what an individual should aspire to be, particularly in the situation you are in. So during, the virus has hit the world, everybody's at home. So, you're sort of literally put into a home like that circle of who do I want to be during COVID-19. That's what sort of when you are put into a home and you're told that, okay, that's it, no coming out, you're into that box. Now, physically you can't get out of home, of course, but your mind, your brain, it doesn't have limitations. There's no limit to which your mind can aspire, think, or whatever. So basically that chart is suggesting us that we should rather, so it's fine if you're at home, it's okay, and it's actually a good thing to aspire for the stages which are represented by it. So for example, fear zone. So, hoarding a lot of food and forwarding WhatsApp messages and all of that. I would say that it is a very easy thing to do. It doesn't have any cognitive load, but as you try and move forward into that chart outwards, exploring sort of more layers of your mind, you would start learning things. I mean, for example, and I think these levels and stages in the chart, they are quite interdependent in the sense that, for example, okay, so let's say because you are at home, you're really bored, and that sense of monotony really gets hold of you and sort of makes you angry. And then, so let's say that's the fear zone, that, because so anger is a source, is anger in a lot of ways indicates fear, because otherwise you wouldn't need to get angry. Then you move into learning zone, which is, well, why did I get angry? What was that weak point in my mind? What triggered me? So you start identifying your emotions. Like, okay, you sort of reflect, like what led you to being angry? Because when you shout and when you're angry, that's a source of weakness. It's evolutionarily, that makes sense. It's common sense. And okay, then you learn, then you sort of reflect and learn, okay, what triggered me? And then ultimately you move into the growth zone where you say that, okay, now that, okay, I got the sort of complete package, the complete experience of getting triggered due to something. I reflected on what triggered me. And now, how can I fix that? How can I try and solve that problem in a way that moves me forward and sort of gives me a more progressive and advanced view of the world? And I think the growth zone, as it says, it's, actually I can't describe how deep that chart is, because it's really difficult to put in words, because language is a big handicap to really describing anything, especially when it comes to emotions or belief systems. So we are really talking about a particular belief system here and the advancement of that belief system. So then you get into growth zone where you're taking everything into the context, you're reflecting, and then you're trying to not rectify, but make an advancement to your belief system in a way that will move you forward and advance you in the world. And finally, it's enlightenment, of course. That's quite a stage, and that's why I can see how it encircles everything, because it's really the ultimate goal. And we actually, off the record, we talked about how perfection is asymptotic in the way that you would always try and reach perfection. Nobody can really be perfect. I mean, if you were perfect, then you'd be called God. That's really the idea of it, I think. So yeah, I think you should sort of move yourself, try and sort of oscillate as much as possible in the growth zone and interact with as many elements of it as you can. Obviously, I took sort of one line of emotions and fear. What you can also do is identify many, most of these sort of lines of thought and try and improve yourself. And I think I'd like to make one last point here.
Yeah.
I think that most of these lines, they represent a line of the way you approach life. So any individual has a set of inspirations, aspirations, somewhere they want to be, vision, something like that. And the way to approach that particular goal you have set for yourself is via your belief systems. You believe in certain values, and you believe what you believe on. So if you do something, you'll get something, that kind of a belief system. And all these values, if you inculcate and interact with them as much as possible, I think it will really get you where you are. And COVID-19, let this crisis be an opportunity, not a crisis to at least your mind. An opportunity to grow.
Yeah, a beautiful expression of a beautiful mind.